Good morning, St. John's. Welcome back to Chapel on Wednesday. Back here at home again, hanging out with Marcus back there. It's time for chapel, so let's go ahead and get started. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. May these words of my lips and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. And this week we have a special video song for you. This was submitted to me by Julia in 8th grade. It's a video of her singing the revival anthem by Rend Collective. Hope you enjoy.
Are breaking, praise you when our world is caving. We will not be moved. We will praise you till we see your kingdom. Greater things are surely coming. You are God and you are on the move. You are on the move.
All right, thank you, Julia. That was really great. If any of you want to video yourself singing a song like that, you can just have your parents submit it to me, and we'll see if we can't get it in one of our next chapel services. We will continue on with our service now. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Hear my voice when I call, O Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Teach me your way, O Lord. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us to another chapel service today. Please be with us. Open our ears, open our hearts to receive the message that you have for us. Let us learn a little bit more about what you want for us. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. This week, our Bible verses are coming from Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, and that's going to be read by Hayden in first grade.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths.
Our second Bible reading comes from Matthew chapter 14, verses 22 through 33, and that's going to be read by Ryan in seventh grade.
22 through 33. Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go before him on to the other side, while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. And when evening came, he was there alone. But the boat by this time was a long way from the land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night he came to them, walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It's a ghost." And they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." Peter answered to him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and took hold of him, saying to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt me?" And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the one Son of God."
All right, today we are going to start over here in my at-home laboratory set. We're going to talk about something that's pretty cool today. We're going to talk about walking on water. Now, most of you remember the story of Jesus walking on water. It's a pretty common story to talk about. But today I wanted to show you another science object lesson to kind of help that connect to you a little bit more. If I asked you, could you make this metal paperclip float on water? It might be very difficult for you to do that. And you can try this at home. But if you take a metal paperclip and you try to set it very carefully on the water, it sinks right through. And to be able to get this to float on the water, we have to understand a little bit of science here. We need to understand some surface tension. Now, the water molecules in this bowl are held together really tightly, especially at the top of the water, creating a lot of tension. But if we do anything to break that tension, and you can kind of watch, you can see that you can break that tension and the paperclip's going to fall right through. So we need to be able to do something to lay this paperclip down gently on the surface to not break that surface tension. And what we can do is we can use a second paperclip and we could bend it, fold it in half to make a little holder for the paperclip we want to float. And you got to be very careful about doing this. But then I dropped it there. Let me grab another paperclip. That's why I said you got to be very careful. Got to balance it right on that paperclip and then lower it down. And there you go, paperclip floating, a metal paperclip floating on water. Now, in our Bible verse today, we read about Jesus walking on water. Jesus called Peter out of the boat, and told him to come to him. And for a while, Peter was taking a couple steps on water. If we kind of relate that to what's going on here, we couldn't get these paper clips to float on water without something else, right? And Peter couldn't walk on the water without something else. He had to have faith in Jesus to be able to walk on water. Now, the other thing to remember about Peter is he wasn't able to walk on water all the way to Jesus. All of a sudden, the waves came up, he got scared, and he started to sink down. Now, if we do anything to this paper clip, if we push it or break the surface tension, it'll sink right to the bottom. But we can also do something else too. We can just add a little bit of soap. If we add a little bit of soap to this, all of a sudden the paper clip sinks. And the reason for that is because soap gets in between the molecules of water and makes it harder to have that surface tension. And so the paper clip goes right down to the bottom. So the soap in this case, kind of like the waves that Peter was dealing with, it caused doubt. Even though he had faith in Jesus, he doubted just for a little bit, and that doubt made him sink in the water. Now, so what can we kind of take away from all of this? Well, first of all, we should always pray to God. Stay focused on Him. He is always there. We are always going to have times of doubt, times of fear, but we need to remember that Jesus is always going to be with us, and He's always going to bring us through whatever problems that we have. And so we need to stay focused on Him, and He will guide us through anything that we have.
All right, and we will continue on saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. All right, and before we go, I'd like to recognize those of you that had a birthday this week. On Monday this week, we had 2 Star Wars birthdays. We had Chase in 2nd grade and Liam in kindergarten have their birthdays. I hope the 4th was with you. Yesterday, Alina in 1st grade had a birthday. And then this coming Saturday, Anna in 1st grade has a birthday. So I want to say happy birthday to all of you guys. Again, we miss you. We wish that we could see you in person. Hope that we can do that soon. So with that, all of you may go in peace to serve the Lord. Thank you.